Holy smokes, we're recording. And I should have somebody coming in here in a second. So stay tuned. This might get edited out, I'm not sure. The only thing we'd ever edit is the front and the back. He's coming on, people. You like this background, Wayne?
Welcome to Wayne's World and Kelly Visual Podcast. I think we got this figured out, champ. How are you?
I think we do, and we're recording. So I like your background. I'm not real crazy about your angle, but look at my background, baby. Do you see my background?
Yeah, I do. And frankly, I'm kind of getting, so how's that? So the meeting, this podcast is sponsored by the Terminator, my new company. Get a grip, use the clip.
And the other sponsor?
Yes, LGC.
And I'm at world headquarters right now in sunny Miami. And this is a real background at our office. Is this sick or what?
Hey, I love it. We got Florida weather here today in Minnesota. It's 97 degrees.
Wow, it's not that warm here. It's actually comfortable here.
I know, but you know what? You have palm trees. We don't.
We can also, can you hear what's going on in the background? Oh, well.
Kind of annoying. What is it? Something in the trees?
I hadn't anticipated that. It sounds like somebody's doing a little handyman work next door, but we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. So we had a lot of struggles to get where we're at talking right now, didn't we?
So this is Wayne's World and Kelly. So with Wayne's World and Kelly, it was an idea that Wayne came up with. Actually, Wayne and you came up with it and I jumped on board. That's to be legit. And then you got me a guest on your other podcast that you do. And we struggled because we couldn't get a guest on the show and get it recorded properly. And it was just driving us crazy because as much as we like to talk, we like bringing people that inspire us and motivate us and have, had an impact on our careers and our personal lives. So that was sort of the whole mindset of the show. So we have tried over and over again, and holy smokes, I think we finally got it, other than this guy in the background, which you can't lose for winning, as my dad used to say.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that's just another hurdle we have to overcome. So it sounds like they stopped right now for a few minutes. So, I mean, we'll probably take advantage of that. Right, Top Gun? I want that review.
Okay, so we'll go straight into Top Gun talk. So went and saw Top Gun. I was really excited about it. At 59 years old, what was that, 35 years ago when I saw it, I was one of the best movies I ever saw. Seeing it at the theater was insane. I remember when I first got surround sound at home and you had to get the Top Gun because it sounds like the jets are flying through the house.
Right.
And everything about that movie was fantastic. Even though it's legendary, how many things were incorrect and technically weren't correct on how you fly and all this stuff. We don't care. It was incredible. And Iceman and
Maverick.
Take Me Home or Lose Me Forever. I've actually had dinner at the barbecue place where they film those scenes, which is right there in San Diego. So I love the movie. So I've been excited for several years knowing this movie is coming out. And I went and saw it and I thought it was terrible. I thought it was lazy. I thought the hair dye on Tom Cruise looked like something that if I tried to do it, going to the store and buying some stuff and putting something in my hair, that's what it looked like. I thought that no creativity in anything. I mean, even the mission was silly. There's nothing I liked about the movie, and I really, really wanted to like it. So being a social media guy, I put it on Facebook, and I put my honest opinion of the movie. And wow, I got a lot of hate mail, a lot of comments, several hundred comments of people that just think I'm a terrible critic, or I shouldn't have put it on there. And what is wrong with me? It was patriotic and blah, 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 blah. And I thought it was terrible. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not really so awfully sure I'm going to. I like that guy behind you. That adds to it. That's cool.
I love it. Yeah, there's Pred, one of our top guys.
Nice.
So, he's now famous. Yeah, so save the $40. No, go see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I've had a couple people that have come out, send me personal notes they want to put on my wall saying, "Yeah, I kind of agree with you," but that's almost like I was being, I was shocked that people were getting upset that I was being critical. It was my critique of the movie. What am I supposed to do? So then I can't think of the name of it. Adam Sandler has a new movie out that just dropped on Netflix. It's about basketball. And I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan, and he knocked it out of the park. This movie's got everything that I expected Cruise's movie to be and wasn't. And it tugs at your heart. It's about, trying and failing and then winning. And, it's got athleticism. It's got a story about two of the lead actors and their daughters, the romance with their spouse for Adam's character. It even has Boston, which is the home of the Irishman, which is great. I mean, there was a phenomenal movie, and I apologize for not knowing what the name of it is, but I'm terrible remember that stuff. But that is a must-see movie, and if you have Netflix, you can see it for free. So just click on it.
Well, so one of the things that we tried on our last failed Zoom podcast was talking about motivational movies, motivational books. What was it about Adam Sandler's movie that that really touched you? Was there a motivational component to it?
Oh, 100%. It's about Adam Sandler's desire to be more successful in his career. And I don't want to give up too much of the movies. That's why I'm being a little bit evasive. And then his co-star in the movie of finding what the opportunity is from the United States, because he lives in Europe.
Okay.
And Adam Sandler plucks him out of obscurity, and then the actor in the movie actually is a professional basketball player who plays, in the league right now. So I mean, I was watching this guy. I'm like, how in the world is this guy such a great basketball player? And he's an actor. Well, it turns out he's a basketball player that is a pretty darn good actor too. So, can you see that one just flying right? That's not a setup. That's coming off the tree right next to me. But
it adds to the element. I like it.
And so you and I were talking about, like, I get inspired by movies, by books. Rudy is one of my all-time favorite movies. I've watched it hundreds of times. And you can go all the way back to the 70s with movies like Brian's Song, or Something for Joey, the Capoletti story. And then you come all the way up to Pay It Forward, which I think is that one's not true, but what a great story and what a great message that will tear at your heart. Rudy's actually based on a true story. And my cousins were actually at Notre Dame the same time Rudy was. Now we got an airplane going by. You get everything here.
I think this is great, because if people can put up with this kind of nonsense, imagine what we're going to do when they can actually hear us.
That's right. So I've got a studio up in Fort Lauderdale that I'll work out of, but I just thought this was too cool not to show the gorgeous background of our office.
So no, dude, I like it.
What are some of the movies that you really have had an impact where you just want to get that motivation, so you want to veg out but also inspire yourself?
Well, I probably have to say the top two movies for me, definitely in this order, is Rocky Balboa. There's a part in the movie where he's talking to his son, and anybody can find it on YouTube. You can just, put in the search engine, Rocky Balboa motivational speech to his son. And that reduces me to tears. I actually put that on a LinkedIn posting a couple years ago. It had that much of an impact on me. And then the other one is probably Will Smith's movie Happiness, where he's literally on the streets and he's homeless with his son. And he actually has to go through all of these tests and everything to become a successful stockbroker. And he made it. But man, if those two movies don't reduce you to tears, I don't know what does. They very much touched me and very much motivated me still to this day.
One was brilliantly written, acted, the whole ensemble with the Rocky movies. And then the other one is actually based on a true story. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, so let me ask you this.
Wait,
Rocky 4 or 5?
Dude, I'm not sure, because there's been a lot of Rockies, but everybody needs to understand that Rocky, the first Rocky, is not a fictional character. He was based on a boxer named Chuck Wepner, who Muhammad Ali picked out of a bunch of middle fighters and said, I'm going to give you an opportunity to go toe to toe with me, Muhammad Ali. And you know what? This guy did it. And I do believe Chuck Wepner even knocked him out. And Chuck Wepner was on the cover of Sports Illustrated many, many years ago, but Rocky is based on Chuck Wepner. Okay. That's a fact.
That I did not know. And that's,
yep.
Wow, you're really bringing it today.
Today.
You're a lot better than on when we're doing it on the phone and just being audio.
Well, that's why it was so inspirational to me, is when you look at a guy against all odds, handpicked from Muhammad Ali into the ring of arguably the greatest boxer of all time, and he held his weight. He did. And if you don't believe me, anybody, you literally Google Chuck Wepner, Wepner, one of the best stories that literally came to the screen. Okay.
I'm trying to think how much money somebody'd have to give me to just take one punch from Muhammad Ali. Not even back when he was great, but even today. I mean,
dude, I do it for free. I would do it for free, because what a story that would be.
Is he still around?
I'm not sure if he is or not.
I'm thinking of Mike Tyson, of a guy that I wouldn't want to. I still wouldn't want Muhammad Ali at any point punching me.
Oh, right. But what is speaking about motivational sayings, what is Mike Tyson's most famous saying? Do you know off the top of your head?
Don't record.
Okay, I'll take that as a no.
Don't record.
Yeah.
I was trying to do my imitation of his voice, but okay. It didn't come off so well.
No, it didn't. It needs to be a little higher pitch. But Mike Tyson's greatest. No, his greatest statement is, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a great line.
That is. So staying on the motivational train here, go to books. Give me one or two books that have really made an impact on your life.
The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino.
Okay. Why did it appeal to you? What was it about the message?
It's like a 98-page book that's a biblical story. And I wasn't even a Christian. I was barely a Catholic when I read the book the first time back in, I guess, maybe the late 70s, early 80s. But it's a biblical story that Og Mandino kind of made up, but being inspired from the Bible. And it tells a story about a salesman and never giving up. And it's just an incredible, and I've read the thing probably 100 times. And I've given the book out dozens of times to people. It's just a brilliantly written book. And then Og Mandino, years later, after I lost a huge 2 big contracts back to back several years ago, and the second one was devastating. And I went to the library. I always just went to the bookstore and bought books. I'd got a library since I was a kid. And I actually looked up and found another book by Og Mandino. And never even thought about it. I never thought about it. Never knew anything about Og Mandino, although one of his books was one of my favorites. So brilliant writer, and his story is 1,000 times better. And I mean, we could do a whole show just about Og Mandino, but I'm going to tell people instead OG and then Mandino, just like it sounds. Go out and buy his books and read them, especially The World's Greatest Salesman, which is inspirational. Then the one about his life, which is huge. How about you? And I'm a big fan of the Bible.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's actually the first book I ever read. So that's I remember that way going back to Sunday school. So probably tied for 1 and 2, or the 2 best books I ever read is Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand.
Good book. Okay, I'm lying. I saw the movie. I guess it's a good book.
one man versus the world, how one man can change the world. And Steve Jobs, again, how one man can change the world. In the message that is out there to everybody watching this, if there's one person that watches this, take this away from Kelly and I. One person can change the world. It doesn't matter if it's a cell phone. It doesn't matter if it's roofing and siding, a sill gripper. It doesn't matter. Wherever you're at, put in the time. If you put in the time, one person can change the world. Nobody has any of these skill sets, right? Even you at LGC. I mean, you have to development, but yeah, Steve Jobs, sure. Am I Steve Jobs? No. Are you? No. But the principles are still the same about what it takes to get to wherever you want to go, if that's your chosen path of whatever it is you want. Persistence, to Og Mandino's book, I think is the one indispensable thing that everybody needs, no matter what career path you're on. It only stops when you stop.
You know,
that's it.
There's a very disappointing saying that has become very famous, and it says 75% of the job is just showing up. And you know what?
I don't believe that. I don't
that
believe
is
that.
So wrong, but it's become
I don't believe that.
Such a huge thing. Really? Come on. Showing up. There's 1,000 things you need to do more than showing up. I mean, that's you know, but that's how weird this world's become in so many levels, where people just seem to be entitled to everything, and all I have to do is show up. I mean, sometimes you go to a store and the person's like, well, I'm here, aren't I? I'm working. It's like, no, you're not, because you're not taking care of what we need. And it will I know in your industry and in my industry, if we cannot afford to have team members that just show up. We have people that come in and they're giving it 100% every single day, and I'm in awe of them. And there's just no room in our business for people that just want to show up.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what that means when I hear stuff like that. I'm like you, I kind of scratch my head and I just think, well, okay. And then I just go about quietly building my empires, and I'm doing more than showing up, just trying to every day reach my full potential. When I was working out with my workout partner this morning, he said to me, he said, what is your chasm that you have? And I pointed to the horizon and pretended that there was, you know, like a big canyon there, which is what a chasm is. And I said to him, utilizing my full potential to see if I can get where I'm at right now over the other side. That's the chasm. That's one of mine. How about you? It's a good question for you. What is it, a big challenge, a big chasm that you have?
You know, I love that question, because I always want to see if I can get out of my comfort zone.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that exists, but I've done it over the years. You know, the first time I got in front of a camera or got up on stage and in front of a bunch of people, even though I'm a ham, it gets you. And now over the years, I've had an opportunity to do a lot of stuff, and I get excited to do it. If you told me you want to throw me in a small part in a TV show or a movie right now, I'd jump all over it. And and if I had to get talk in front of 1,000 people, I love it. But I'm telling you, there was a time where it made me sick inside to even consider doing that.
Well, when did that change? I mean, I want to interject real quick, like the story for me, when it changed, it all changed for me when I knew my subject matter completely cold, when I knew that the message that I was going to deliver was. So when I do my presentation, I'm going to do a big presentation tomorrow in Chicago. Obviously, I know my subject matter cold. I never read off in notes, but it doesn't matter how many people I'm in front of, because the feeling is the same of sharing a message that you want to share, you need to share, and that's why they're there to hear it. That really kind of erases any kind of nervousness that I don't think I've been nervous in front of people for, God, probably 15 years.
Since you had hair.
What's that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, you have to watch the show to see what I said.
Dead air. Anyway,
I said back when you had hair.
Yep.
Oh, gee.
Put the hat back on.
Yeah, put the hat back
on. Right.
You know, a couple of things just came to mind. Let's see if I can remember what they were. What were we just talking about?
Yeah, just like, when did you lose your fear about being in front of a lot of people?
I know. So I saw Johnny Carson being interviewed once, years ago when he was, when he was big and famous. I was probably a teenager. And he said a couple things that I remember to this day. One of the things was, he says, listen, if I got up on stage and people didn't enjoy it, no one enjoys it.
Yep.
So I know when
Good
I get
point.
up there, they want to enjoy what I've got to say. So why not I just enjoy the moment? And I thought that was interesting. And the second thing he said was, he goes, it's easier for me, I'm a comedian. But he says, regardless of whatever it is, always start off with a joke. So I always try to think of something humorous to say, which doesn't take much for my childish sense of humor. When I start talking to people, a lot of times I can go to my go-to. Hi, my name's Kelly Kuhn. I could spend 5 minutes just, telling funny stories about people expecting some cute blonde-haired girl, and it's not. It's me.
Big
Or
disappointment. Big
my last name
disappointment, by
being
the way.
Kuhn, which is a very, it's not the best name in 3 different languages. And it's really, and my dad had to explain it to me when I went to school when I was a kid, that it was a very rude name to call people in the South. And we grew up in Virginia. So, here I was. Ironically, my mom was going to call me Sean, but the Irish spelling is Sean. So she was afraid that people would call me Cian.
Cian.
So she was more worried about people pronouncing my name wrong than getting my gender wrong. I love her. And then so my last name also tied to my daughter's name, Maddie. If you say Maddie and instead of saying Kuhn, you say Khan. Not a very nice thing to say in Latin, in Spanish. And then Kuhn also is a very pejorative. And what do they speak in Iran?
It's Farnese or no, Farsi. There you go. Yep.
So I found that out when after 1980 or 79, when some wonderful families came to our town that were from Iran, and they go, "Oh, your last name," and they go, "Let me tell you what it means." I'm like, come on, I can't win. So,
well, can you say what it means in Farsi on the air?
No, I want it. None of those I wouldn't say in any of them. No, it's not a nice word. It's very similar to the Spanish terminology, but it's not
Got
nice.
it.
So
okay.
Now, fortunately, it's funny when people realize it because it's just my name. You have no control over your name. And, but regardless, why not have people laugh? Why not people have fun? I like to bring fun wherever I go. I'm serious when it comes to important things, but otherwise I want to have fun.
Yep.
There's no reason to get out of bed in the morning if you're just gonna be serious all day. I mean, if that's your personality trait, I get it. Don't try to be somebody you're not. A friend of mine recently asked me, he goes, "Can you teach me to be more outgoing?" I was surviving 8 older brothers and sisters. For me, it was survival to be funny. I think that's where it came from.
Yeah. Hey, how are we doing on time, Ace?
We got it in 60 seconds, I think.
60 seconds. So I'm going to say something to wrap it up on my end. You feel free to follow me. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods next week. I'm going to be at Top Golf Miami Gardens, sponsoring a national clients event. What might I expect in Miami Gardens?
Is this an invite?
It's not, because you're a really good golfer, and frankly, you're probably going to outshine me. So it's not an invite for you. I just want to know what it's like there. Don't try and gravy train me, dude.
Come and help with your golf swing or anything?
Nope. Unless you want to pay a hefty sponsorship fee, go ahead. What's it like there?
At Top Golf in Miami? Oh,
Miami Gardens.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, Top Golf all across the country. Another one of our sponsors today. They do a phenomenal job. They got great food. They've got a great environment. They have air movers, so it's it's not, you're not going to be burning up, in the what do they call those things?
Golf stalls.
Stall. They call it a stall.
Yep.
Look at you. So, but yeah, it's so you're doing it with Real Manage.
I am, and then the day after, I got a little light travel day, and then I'm going to be heading up to Orlando to partake in Leland Management's get together with their employees. So yeah, I'm going to be in your area next week.
So we're going to do dinner while you're here or anything? Or?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Probably Wednesday would probably be the best day. So I can certainly check in with you on that. So anyway, that's where I'm going to be.
I can't
Yeah.
go golfing with you, but I'll buy you dinner.
Okay. I like that even more. And how about you? What do you got until we meet again next week?
Not much. I'm thinking about getting a pedicure.
Okay. I find that really non-interesting. I'd probably work the Grecian formula through the hair you have instead of doing that, because I wish I could do that.
I
wish.
I go like this. One
Okay.
time with some stuff that I use that does the job. So there's not
some stuff that you used. Okay,
I
we're
don't
going to
even
use
know
that.
I've been using the product for years. I have no idea the name. I really
Well,
don't.
if it was WD-40, you probably wouldn't have any hair left.
That's right. No, it's a good product. It costs me. I know it costs $19.95, and sometimes it's $21.95.
Okay, well, in this
I
inflationary era,
recognize the bottle, but I am not what you call a self-care person. I use aloe,
okay,
and I use that stuff, whatever it's called, and of course soap and shampoo. But you know, and I floss and I use Crest. So
I love the
all
starter
my
kit.
hygiene stuff. But I'm not really one that does all that anything. I take a ton of vitamins every day.
Awesome.
So anyway,
Well,
let's wrap
until
this.
next week, thanks to everybody for putting up with the patience on this. And I think we got to figure it out right now. So until next week, Mr. Kuhn, right?
Hey, I'll see you Wednesday for dinner.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, my friend.
Okay,
Take
I
care.
hope everybody has a good rest of the week.
Thanks, my brother.